Good morning, and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Santa Clarita Hearing Company. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Jean Dorio,
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, our very own Kevin Mcdonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, is our first guest. Hello, hello.
Hello, great to be with you.
welcome,
Yes.
Kevin.
Thank you, Dr. Jing.
Yes, and let's go back in time a little bit. I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. How about you? What was going on at the Senior Center?
Oh, my goodness. We had a wild Thanksgiving at the Senior Center.
I can well imagine.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
We had, so many things are happening, and it's good to, it was only last week. That
It
Thanksgiving
feels
was.
like a year ago,
And
though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But we need to honor that holiday.
Yes.
We were given so many gifts at the Senior Center. 100 turkeys arrived from the Rotary Club. Yes,
Oh, my
Santa Clarita Valley Rotary
goodness.
Club dropped off 100 turkeys, and
Oh,
our
that is
staff
something.
distributed them, and we had people, in need, and we got them out into the community that day.
Oh, wow.
So we made a lot of Thanksgivings happen because of that donation of the turkeys, and that
Oh,
was
my God.
terrific.
And turkeys are not small.
No, these are 12 to 15 pounders. These are real birds. These are real because I think I lifted every one of them.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what a nice gesture by the Rotary Club, who's been a fantastic organization.
Yes.
Yep,
So,
yeah.
And then that was early part of the week, and then Thanksgiving Day. The tradition at the Senior Center is the Castaic Lions Club got involved with us years ago. So we serve Thanksgiving Day. And that's a unique thing. When I came on, I was like, what do? We serve Thanksgiving Day. Not the day before and the day after. We serve Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day.
And the team came in from the Lions Club, and so many volunteers came in from Castaic High School and Saugus High School, and we had a great group together. And we served a drive-through meal on Thanksgiving Day to over 500 people who came.
Wow.
And they got a turkey meal, and they also left with a ham meal for Friday.
Oh,
So they
my
got two hot
goodness.
meals, and just to see the joy. We wish we had them inside, but since we couldn't have them inside, the next best thing is our famous drive-through, and so that was great.
And that was enough food for 4 days.
It was a good amount of food that they
Oh,
got.
yes, I know.
Well, the Castaic Lions Club says spoil them over Thanksgiving, and we do.
Oh.
And early in that week, we also had Supervisor Barger. Her staff came in to help us out. So we had
Oh,
so
that
many
was
different people come in to support us. And then Meals on Wheels did their job on the same day. The Meals on Wheels drivers who are volunteers came in on Thanksgiving morning, and the 240 people that really needed it, they got that special meal on Thanksgiving. So we just celebrate Thanksgiving like it's just a great holiday, and we were very fortunate of the gifts we received, but also to give back to the seniors.
That's wonderful. Well, I was reading my past newspapers because my neighbor saved all my newspapers, and I remember reading that in the Signal
Right.
about the Senior Center and the turkeys and the Rotary Club getting involved.
Yeah, lots of nice things
Yes.
going on.
Oh, that was wonderful. So what else happened besides that?
That was enough for Thanksgiving for us. And we're just getting ready for the holiday season. We try to celebrate everything. So celebrating Hanukkah this week and Christmas coming up and New Year's. So
Good
we're trying
heavens.
to, we're open except for in-person dining, but we're open, and the place is being decorated to the nines, and we have some wonderful people coming in to celebrate with us. So
That's terrific. So you're not having in-house dining yet?
not yet. We hope for in February is what we're aiming for right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the drive-through is serving over 500 people a day now. The drive-through has gone up, and at one point we're going to phase into the in-person dining, both in the courtyard area and inside the ballroom, and probably by a reservation system. So we're getting closer and closer to that day, but they're still being fed in the meantime, and that's the most important thing.
Yes, it is, because a lot of our seniors don't have the wherewithal to have a good home-cooked meal, And especially with the Senior Center meals, I got for about a week for Russ when he needed food, and it's enough for 2 meals.
Yeah.
It really is. There's that much food in each of those packages.
But it's not just for that meal, and that's the important thing to know. It's lunch, but it's also, it could be their dinner, it could be the next day's
That's
lunch.
right.
And one of the important things to know is it's a lot of food, but we're not sure where their next meal is going to come from.
That's exactly
Right.
right.
So that's the important thing. So yeah, it is a lot, but it's not just for that meal. And they may
And
share it with
Kevin,
another loved one in their home.
That's right. There is in that one meal there is enough for 2 people. No
But
matter
seniors
how
have
big
been-
or how small the eater is, there's enough food in there. There really is. There really is.
Seniors
It's
have
just
been
amazing.
suffering from food insecurity for a long time. And unfortunately, there are, as some residents and listeners don't know, that it has affected many seniors in Santa Clarita. But we have Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is thanks. And so many people, as you said, Kevin, have risen to the occasion to assure that not only the holidays brought food to our seniors, but the senior center played a role in it. The citizens played a role in it. The community played a role in it. And, that's the greatest part of what thanks is all about. And, I think we have to mention and honor everybody who you brought forward and who helped out, from the students, the young kids, the different clubs, the Lions clubs, the Rotary Club. They've all come forward to assure that our seniors are cared for in Santa Clarita. And that says a lot about who we are. And I'm just very proud to hear what you're saying, Kevin, that, we've done what we have to do. And when people have food insecurities or life challenges, we rise to that occasion here. And that's great.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when the society values their seniors as they do in this valley, it's just wonderful to see.
It is. Well, all of the members of the Rotary and the Lions all have mothers who are seniors, most of them. And, they would want their mother treated the same way.
And many are seniors themselves.
Yes, that's very true. Many are seniors themselves. That's right. It's great to be a senior.
There you go. There you go.
The older, the better. So what's happening for our upcoming events at the Senior Center?
Well, we got a great group coming in called Surfin', and it's a Beach Boys tribute band. So they're doing on Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Senior Center in our courtyard. They're going to be jamming some great Christmas holiday tunes from the Beach Boys. So it could be the concert of the year, though we've had some really good concerts. But we packing in with over 200 people come in, and they get some a drink and a little bit to eat, and they sit back and listen. They'll be listening to this great tribute band coming in. We've had them before. They were in the parking lot earlier in the year, and now they're coming back for a Christmas special for us. So we're just...
And that's in the courtyard.
That's in the courtyard. Everyone's outside.
That's a beautiful place to have it.
On a big stage with lights, and the trees will be out there. And, we're just looking forward to... I told all the staff, this is the concert to come to and come listen to. And they're called Surfin'. They're a great group of guys helping us out, yeah.
That's terrific. And you also have your classes, too. Good heavens.
Yeah,
I'm reading from a list of all of these classes you have.
Yeah, Blythe Burchill's our director, and she's been expanding the classes. So the building's open. It's getting busier and busier, which is great. We have a certain number that can be in the room with their masks on, but they're taking all the classes. We're going to be moving some classes outside too. But everything from Tai Chi has sold out, so we're adding another Tai Chi class.
Wow.
Sit and be fit, so you don't have to be. You can sit in a chair and do all the exercises. So it's really nice for all different levels.
Yes, that's
so you don't have to be the athlete to show up.
No.
You can be a semi-athlete and still have a chair and enjoy that. They have the Zumba toning, the chair Pilates again. Then we opened up the card room, so pinocchle's being played. Some creative writing, yoga. We got the billiards room is open. Introduction to drawing, a lady by name Teresa who does a great job with that. And we hear the music going all day in the senior center now because the classes are going, the doors are open, and they're just jamming with whatever class they're in. So
hard to talk on the phone.
Yes, yes. But they also have some wonderful discussion groups going on too, the Archaeology Club and other groups, anthropology. So I looked in there yesterday, and it was a full house, and it's like, I'm glad they're getting together again. I'm glad they're commiserating with each other and enjoying their topic that they're talking about.
That's fantastic. And also your support services.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories, Barbara and Dean, over the last couple of days about the support services and their roles with families who are in crisis now. As we get into the holiday season, we learn more and more And those case managers have to be on their toes because they're dealing with families that are really struggling. And we have a great team under Suzanne Nelson and her team there.
Oh, she is. She's fantastic.
Suzanne's a gem, and her staff, and they have the support groups, but they also have the individual counseling. And I listen to them on the phone trying to deal with a senior with their crisis in their particular situation. And
well, a lot of our seniors have lost their significant other. And the holiday season is the absolute worst time to deal with that grief, no matter how long ago. I went through it Thanksgiving. Because the last time I was in the East Coast, Russ was with me, you know. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, he's not here. But I have my family around me, which made all the difference in the world. It really did. And when you have someone who you can talk to, even if it's on the telephone, to someone in support services, you can talk about how you feel, and they will talk with you, you know, and be very understanding.
Our family is your family. And
That's
if you don't
right.
have family, we are your family. And I think that's an important message to keep
Yes.
putting out there and to get a name. And you can call one of our staff by name and
Right.
say, I'd like to talk to them. And, you know, you're surrounded by family, fortunately. And if you're not someday, then you may reach out to the senior center.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. It's that's a wonderful, wonderful service you provide. It really is, and especially when older people don't have a lot of family around. You know, they've moved to different parts of the country or the state, and they're not able to be with parents.
Right. And I said it last time, but it's worth repeating, is each of us as an individual is responsible for reaching out. I need to make my personal phone calls. You need to make, Dr. Gene has to make his, to those people who really need to hear from us, who are seniors. So, you know, if we each make a commitment to that, maybe a neighbor, maybe a friend, may just be your aunt or uncle that you haven't talked to in a while. Wouldn't it be great for this month going forward that we make that extra phone call just to chat about anything?
That's right. Well, my daughter calls me every single day.
You got a
There's
good
not
daughter.
a day that goes by that I don't hear from her. Mom, how you doing?
That's
What
sweet.
you doing? You know, what are your plans for the day? And okay, I will discuss whatever. And she said, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. You know, bless her heart, she does. She calls me every single day.
And each of us needs to keep doing that.
Oh.
While we have our mothers and our fathers, is to keep doing that. And
That's right.
Take advantage of those opportunities.
I used to do that with my parents, even though I was out here and they were back in North Carolina. I'd call them 2 or 3 times a week, you know, to see, how are you doing?
Right.
Of course, my brother was there and he was in contact with them always. And what was interesting when I was back there last week, I went to the home that my parents purchased in 1953. And it's on the lake, John H. Kerr Lake. And I went to the old house that they had, which was just a log house, log cabin. And then they purchased another house in from the lake, and that's where my brother and his wife live now. And I owned half of it with Scott, with David, and I said, you know, this is ridiculous. Why do I own half of it? You know, so I just quit claim deeded it over to them. So it's their home. And when I went there, I absolutely did not recognize it. They have gotten loans and fixed the house up so beautifully. I could not believe it. I thought I was walking into a mansion, you know. It wasn't a mansion, but it seemed that way because the last time I saw that little house, it had 2 bedrooms, and that was it. Living room, kitchen, and dining room. And that was it.
Wow.
And they had an outdoor toilet. But now it's all indoors and
good.
everything's taken care of.
All right. Very nice. Very nice.
But it is. It's amazing, you know. But family needs to keep in touch with family. They
Yeah.
really do. It's so very important.
Yep. This is the time to reach out. I also want to share with you, we put out a mailer this week, or last week. Once a year, we put out an annual appeal campaign is what we call it. And we ask for support, financial support, between Thanksgiving and New Year's each year. And that letter has gone out to the community, and it'll go out through email blasts. And it's a one time of the year. We don't do monthly request letters for donations. What we try to focus it on this season between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and then at our Celebrity Waiter event. But this is the time someone will get an envelope, And they
I
say,
got one.
You got one?
I got
Okay.
one. Yeah, I went through all of my mail that came, and I mean, I had stacks of it for being gone for a week, and I went through it, and I think I found it. When was it? I went through it. I went through the mail Monday.
Right. And that's our outreach to the community. You're a regular donor. Dr. Jean's a regular donor. And it's that time to give, to help us as a private nonprofit organization to survive and to provide the services that we're doing. And almost all the services are free. So all the classes are continue to be free. And everything we try to do, we don't want to tax, put a burden on the seniors. So this kind of fundraising helps us get through as a nonprofit organization to go forward. So it's our annual appeal campaign. It's out there. You can go to our website to make a donation if it's in your heart to do so. And anything is good. It doesn't matter the amount. It's a matter of you support the seniors in the community through this giving campaign.
But it's so very, very important because the Senior Center is a very important organization in our community. It really is, because we have an unbelievable number of seniors.
Yeah, we certainly do, and that's
We
growing.
really do, and there are more and more and more of them. I mean, people are living longer.
Yes.
I mean, they're not passing away in their late 50s and early 60s anymore. They're into their 70s, 80s, and 90s. In fact, there was a woman in the newspaper today, I think she turned 100.
100.
Yeah, who lives in Oakmont, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oakmont Senior Living.
And that's what we're
And Barbara will be celebrating my mother's birthday a week from Saturday.
Really?
And she'll be 100.
Oh, Gene, that's incredible.
Yep.
I'm going to catch her one of these days. I'm not that far away.
So you're right. I mean, people are living longer, and statistically, I think it's by 2030, one in 4, 25% of the population will be older than 60. So we have to be ready for the stampede, and we want to be stampeding.
Absolutely.
It's also, you're right, we have to be prepared for the tsunami, the stampede, but it's also the needs, because the needs are going to differentiate as you get older.
That's true.
And we're trying to keep our ear to it, saying, what are the needs of the new seniors? And what are the needs of the older seniors? Because you have such a large age range in there. And that's where they can contact us, let us know what the needs are in the community, because we try to meet as many needs as we can at the Senior Center. But we'll adjust our classes, we'll adjust a whole bunch of different things to keep them happy, and that's our real goal.
And Kevin, isn't it ultimately what we want to do is we want our seniors here in Santa Clarita to age in place? We want them to be able to stay in their homes, not go to nursing homes, and live comfortably in a way where they're not facing food insecurity, debility, medical problems, and we're keeping those at bay. And that's part of exactly what the Senior Center does. It gives them purpose, brings life back into their spirit. And without the Senior Center, I just don't know what we would do here in Santa Clarita. But Kevin, you and all of those who are at the Senior Center helping out this community has made a huge difference in the 35 years that I have been here. So thank you so much. And it's, every day, we had Thanksgiving last week. It was one major holiday, but for every day we have here in Santa Clarita, it is a day of Thanksgiving.
Yes,
so
it
I
is.
honor you and your organization and so many others for doing what they do for the senior population.
Absolutely, Gene. Thank you so much for visiting us today, Kevin.
Great to be with you both.
Yes, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. You got it.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
No doubt about it, LA is an awesome place to live. But even while living in the land of beaches and mountains, it's safe to say that we could all use a real vacation right about now. One where you don't have to stop for gas, cook your own meals, or strip your own sheets. Lucky for us, Princess Cruises has a port right here in LA. Now, for a limited time, LA residents can sail with Princess from just $89 per day to the beaches of Mexico, the tropics of Hawaii, or cruise along the California coast without getting stuck in traffic. That's right, just $89 per day. And while these great destinations aren't going anywhere, these deals won't be around forever. So visit princess.com, call 1-800-PRINCESS, or contact your travel advisor to book your cruise today. Set sail with LA's cruise line, Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Promotional pricing ends November 30th, 2021. Ships are Bermudan and British registry. Before booking, consult the CDC website at www.cdc.gov.
This is Jill from the Santa Clarita Grocery, the all-volunteer grocery program serving children, families, and individuals experiencing food insecurities. Since January 2020, Santa Clarita Grocery has distributed 83 tons of fresh groceries to our 4,655 families in the SCV community. Santa Clarita Grocery is a drive-up, drive-through service with physical distancing in place to continue serving our community. If you are in need or looking for a charity to do the most good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery, one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. A full 99 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to the community. Santa Clarita Grocery operates on a 1% overhead and is sustained through private donations. Santa Clarita Grocery is at 21176 Center Point Parkway in the Oasis Furniture parking lot. Please visit our website at santaclaritagrocery.org or our Facebook at Santa Clarita Grocery to make a difference in our awesome town community. 425-7575. Be our guest and experience the difference.
Aloha, friends! Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
And now for your convenience, a second Honu location at 23502 Lyons Avenue between Peachland and Apple. Santa Clarita now has its first respiratory treatment center, RenewMed. Whether you've got COPD, COVID complications, asthma, or emphysema, you no longer have to drive out of our valley for treatment. RenewMed is a comprehensive outpatient rehab facility. Along with respiratory treatment, RenewMed's multidisciplinary team includes physicians, respiratory, physical, occupational therapists, and social service professionals. Experience a new kind of therapy. RenewMed on Lyons Avenue, just north of the 5. Visit renewmedscv.com. That's renewmedscv.com.
Welcome to the third annual Caroling with Gracie Holiday Caroling Event and Canned Food Drive. This is Gracie's dad, Brian Muehlberger. We started this event as a fun way to bring holiday cheer to our Santa Clarita community while also helping collect food for those in need. We do all of this by doing what Gracie loved to do during the holiday season, singing Christmas carols with her friends and family. This event is brought to you in partnership with KHTS Radio, Santa Clarita Grocery, and the Gracie Strong Foundation. We wish all of you a very Merry Christmas.
It's the Gilchrest Farm Holiday Hoedown for 3 jam-packed weekends through December 19th. Catch the holiday excitement with reindeer, ponies, and horses, caroling, wagon rides, holiday-themed pig races, a hot chocolate bar, pancake breakfast, funnel cakes, and more.
There's an artisan marketplace, Santa's workshop, craft making, live music, a petting zoo with goats, pigs, bunnies, ducks, and chickens, and Santa. It's holiday magic at Gilchrest Farm, just a short ride up Bouquet Canyon.
Details at gilchrestfarm.com.
Sometimes I wonder about the weather we get.
It can be totally wacky, right?
Mark Schneider and daughter Kaylee for Pacific Air.
It doesn't matter what season it is.
It's hot on one block and raining on the other.
So if your AC needs help on a hot day,
or if it's cold and your heating system is acting up,
call Pacific Air for our You Pick 'em Wacky Weather Tune-Up.
We'll tune up your AC or heating system.
And remember the Pacific Air difference. On-time service calls, fast and efficient service,
upfront pricing, and our peace of mind guarantee.
And there's nothing wacky about that. We think you'll say,
wow. Wow.
Now that's wacky.
Call the guys in the orange truck. That's Pacific Air. On time, great care. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
No surprises, just exceptional service, because nobody cares like Pacific Air. Learn more and get service at pacair.com. That's PACAIRE.com.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And our studio guest this morning now is Adam Laraway from Focus Physical Therapy. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
It
Thanks for
seems
having me.
like it's been just a few days.
Right. Time flies with all the holidays coming.
Goodness, does it ever. Does it ever. So, physical therapy. Why don't we do some in-depth talk about mobility
Absolutely.
for seniors?
Absolutely. So seniors, it's so important to make sure that they're up and moving and continuing to move so that things don't get tight and things don't get weak, more so the weakness than tight, but they can get both. It's kind of funny, we were just talking about Thanksgiving, but I was over in Palm Desert, which is, a big senior area. My dad lives in a 55 and older community, and we saw people out walking, but it's amazing how many people were walking and bent over in such a bent forward position. And, unfortunately, if you do a lot of sitting, some of those muscles, especially your hip flexors, can get really, really tight and can make it hard for you to get up and be upright. And that plays a big factor. I do a lot of education with patients on making sure they're in good posture, because if you're flexed forward, now your line of gravity is not through your joints. And that means all your muscles in your neck and your lower back and your hips are all having to work overtime to keep you upright. And that's not efficient energy-wise, so it's going to make you a lot tireder. You're going to get a lot tireder quicker. And so we work a lot on posture to keep mobility and make sure that you can take step length. You see, obviously, seniors, sometimes their step length starts to get, kind of in a shuffling pattern. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that's because muscles are weak and tight. And so if we can loosen those up, it really can improve that.
Well, I think one way that seniors who do have problems walking is to get a, what do you call it, one of those machines that you can stand up and hold on to, but be able to sit down when you get tired. It's
like a four-wheeled walker with a chair? Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's different levels of assistive devices that we recommend based on that, and each of them gives you a little bit more. But yeah, it's sometimes using those there's four-wheel walkers that have the seat. They make canes that do that as well, that make a little tripod that you can sit when you need to take a break. So it's a good tool to have, because obviously we don't want you getting overtired and
Well, the ones that I've seen that I really like, that if that happens to me, or when it happens to me, I want to get one of those that they're tall and you can hold on to them. I've seen a few of them.
Is it like a platform walker? Is that what you're talking about, maybe?
Yeah, but it has a seat to it also. But the handles are up high.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
That forces you to stand up straight.
Yes. And we're starting to see those a little bit more. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, we're starting to see those more, because I think they're realizing
that's exactly
postural
right.
component is a big
because
piece of it.
As you're a senior, you want to sit more.
Yeah,
I do.
Absolutely.
I have to fight it.
Absolutely.
And if I'm going to sit, I'll go into the spare room, the model room that Russ used to have, and because I put the bike in there, and I'll sit on that bike and pedal it.
Yeah.
And that way I can move my body around and do more exercise.
Get everything moving.
At least everything's moving,
It is. It's really important. It is really important,
And sometimes I don't like to walk outside, because there are so many people with dogs.
Yeah.
And they won't go in the street and walk around you. You've got to walk around them.
Right, yeah.
So you've got to go in the street.
Right, yeah.
And then they've got dog poop all over the sidewalk. I don't understand some people. I really don't, Why don't they take a plastic bag with them and clean up the dog mess?
Right, exactly.
But a lot of people don't.
That's true. That's true. Well, I guess in Europe that's supposed to be good luck if you step in it.
Oh, well, that's a new one on me.
Right,
I've
yeah.
never heard that.
I was in Paris, and that's what they told us, but I think it's because nobody cleaned up after the
Yes.
dogs.
Whoa.
Oh, I
But
think
that, Adam, what about those seniors who, when I was younger, my mom would always say, "Pull your shoulders back when you walk."
Yep.
And now Robin says, pull your head up when you walk.
Yep.
I mean, I think all my life I've been told that my posture isn't good and I should be sitting up. I mean, I'm looking down, so if there is poop on the ground, I'll see it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do any good for my posture.
Right.
So what do you say, Adam, to our seniors other than pull your shoulders back and lift your head up? Is there something, when we're not using a walker, when we're just walking, so we don't look too hunched? What do we do? Somebody said stick your sternum out or lift your head back and things like that. I mean, what can we do for that better posture?
Well, definitely. I mean, it's you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean, we use all those cues, and you just got to kind of find the right cue for each person individually. Some people, you say, lift your chest up, lift your sternum up, and that cues them right away. And other people, you got to say, push your hips forward so that you're not hunched forward. It just depends on where they're in bad posture, because it can be in their neck, it can be in their upper back, it can be in their hips. So we do a lot of cueing with that, and then we do a lot of exercises to most of the time strengthen the upper back, just because, if you strengthen those rhomboids in your upper back, that will help pull you back. But sometimes you're really tight, so, we have to stretch out the muscles in the chest as well, the pec muscles, and so we do like a doorway stretch or a corner stretch to kind of stretch those out. It's usually kind of a combination of a couple things. You need that stretch in the front, and you need that strengthening in the back to hold that there, because if people, this is what I always tell people, if they just, try and pull themselves up, within a couple minutes, those muscles are going to start burning, and they're going to start, fatiguing, and it's not going to feel comfortable. And so you're going to go back to that, what feels normal. And so you have to kind of re-educate, the muscles and everything, and develop that strength so that they can hold themselves up in that good posture. Sometimes we use taping techniques, which is kind of nice with what's called kinesio tape, so it's not restrictive. But it kind of cues people so that if they're really having a hard time with holding themselves up, when they start to slouch again, they'll feel that little tug of the tape, and that's a kind of a cue to kind of retrain. One of the things I get a lot of questions about that is, well, can't I just put on a brace, that pulls me up? They have those little shoulder loops that pull you back or whatever. And, in my experience, I don't think that they work that well. They may stretch out a little bit, but again, the brace is doing the work for you, and so you need your body to do that work so that when you come out of that brace, the muscles know what they're supposed to do, and not, a lot of times they brace things and you get weaker. So I don't generally recommend the braces and stuff.
As I was growing up, my mother always come behind me, smack me in the back. Get your shoulders straight.
Yep.
Straighten your shoulders.
Yep.
And she used to do that all the time.
Yep.
I'm
on my wife and my daughters all the time, especially now in 2021. We're always on our phones. We're always on our iPads. We're always on our laptops.
Down at the phone like this.
So you're constantly looking forward. And so I point out, the seniors that I see, and like, this is what happens if your posture doesn't improve. That's what you're going to look like, and it's going to be painful. So, you have to do it, but you got to make that conscious awareness of it.
Well, it was interesting when I was in Virginia Beach. I have two great-granddaughters. One of them is 11 and the other one is 7.
Yeah.
And they were constantly on their iPads.
Yep.
And I said, girls, come on over here and talk to me.
Yeah.
Put that stupid thing away.
Yep.
And it's interesting because when they were here on the West Coast, and I'd have them over to the house for dinner or what have you, I would say absolutely no cell phones at the table.
We have that
Nothing.
Same rule. Yep.
Nothing.
We have that same rule.
We sit at the table, we sit and we eat and we talk, we converse with one another.
Yep.
And my granddaughter said, yeah, I remember that. I remember that, Nanny. I remember that.
Yep.
And of course, they have that rule also.
Absolutely.
In their home. When we're sitting at the table, those machines are back on the couch or wherever.
Yep.
They're not at the table. We're there to eat and to talk.
Yeah, there's a lot of research that shows that families that have a dinner every night or 5 nights a week, that they are much happier. They have a lot better coping skills and all that type of stuff. So
absolutely.
it's good to disconnect. It is.
It really is, because those machines, if you call them machines, they're deadly.
Absolutely.
They really are.
Absolutely.
I do not like them at all.
Yeah.
And the reason I have one is because my kid said, "Mom, you got to get a cell phone. We got to be able to reach you when you're not at home."
Yeah.
You know, and
we definitely become reliant on them.
oh,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. All I know how to do is turn it off and on.
Well, I did want to talk about something that we talked about last time, Adam, which I think is critically important for our seniors, for their balance, and that's their core strength.
Yes.
And so if you can, again, because I think a lot of our listeners mentioned to me from the last time you were on, how important that conversation was in discussing about core strength and the role that it plays, not only in posture, but also in maintaining your balance and not falling.
Absolutely. Yeah. Core strength is so crucial because everything kind of stems from that. When we have patients that we work with that have had a stroke, and sometimes they can't even sit up right, to begin with after the stroke. And so getting that core strength, and that's obviously an extreme example, but getting that core strength is the first priority, because if they don't have that core strength to at least sit up, they're definitely not going to be able to reach for something. They're definitely not going to be able to stand up and walk and get, be able to transfer and that type of stuff. So, it's I always kind of, with my patients, I like to talk to them about, think about when a baby is born, they have no control. They're totally reliant on everything. And then as they start to grow, they develop head control first. The next thing they do is they develop some of that core strength second. Next thing you know, all of a sudden they can start moving their arms around, they can touch their feet, they start to get a little bit of hip control. Next thing you know, they're crawling, rolling and then crawling. And then that's how they eventually begin to start walking. And the same thing really applies for us. If we lose that core strength, it makes everything really, really difficult. And so you have to have that core strength and get those muscles working and working in the right order. Some of the muscles that we train, they're anticipatory. So they actually engage before you get out of bed, before you roll over in bed, before you stand up. And if those muscles aren't working, it can make things really, really difficult because you'll compensate, but you're not necessarily using the right muscles to do that. And so that's one of the things we do in physical therapy is retraining those muscles, those core muscles.
It's interesting because when I get out of the bed in the morning, I get out and I lie sideways and lift my legs up.
Yeah.
So that and that helps with the core muscles, because when you're lying flat and you're pulling your legs up,
absolutely.
I mean, you've got to use those.
It's got to engage, exactly. Yeah.
Muscles.
Yeah. I was actually working with a patient this morning that had sciatic symptoms down their leg, and we were working on some of those core muscles on the table. So they're stabilized by the table, but we were able to start getting that. There's one specific called the transverse abdominis firing, which is like a corset muscle for your spine, for your lower back. And as soon as we started to get that engaged, and I said, "How's the leg feeling now?" And they were like, "Oh, it's gone. Like, where'd it go?" So we got things kind of feeling better, and getting a little bit of engagement there, and that took pressure off the nerve.
Well, it's interesting, just sitting in a chair, watching TV. I'll sit there and I'll lift my legs up like that, just to move.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it really helps, but you're using your core muscles when you do that.
Yeah, and we do a lot of little simple exercises. I think we talked about this, last time as well, is just doing a sit to stand, which is kind of a modified version of a squat. But you think about how many times you have to get up and down throughout the day, and, getting off of the toilet, which is important, and especially if you've got a lower toilet or a lower seat, if you go out to a restaurant, you're sitting in booths and chairs that can be lower. And just that exercise of a sit to stand is so crucial, because you're working your core, you're working your glutes, you're working your quads, which are all the big muscle groups that help to get you up. And it's amazing that's so important to do.
It is. And when you go into a restaurant, many times you sit in booths.
Yeah.
Those seats are so low. I mean, when I go in to sit, I fall down on it, because they're so hard to maneuver around.
Absolutely. And that's
They're
where your
terrible.
core strength comes in, because you've got to be able to scooch into that booth.
That's exactly
And
right.
so now your legs are not in a good position to lean forward because the table's there. And so
right.
you've got to use that core muscles and those glutes to scooch into the booth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a pain in the neck, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do we
Do you
need to
think
take a little
it's
break?
wise?
We need to take a break, Gene.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Gene Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Do you suffer from peripheral neuropathy in your hands or feet? One drug after another, continuing numbness, tingling, burning pain, balance problems, decreased quality of life? Are you experimenting with drugs like Lyrica, Neurontin, gabapentin, Cymbalta with limited success and your doctor telling you just have to live with it? My name is Dr. Thomas Pilecki, DC, host of Get Better with Dr. Pilecki and founder of Neuropathy Dr. X. I'm here to tell you that there is now a non-invasive natural solution to your neuropathy right here in Santa Clarita, a solution that addresses the underlying causes, and we're proud to say that we have an 87 to 97% success rate with neuropathy sufferers in getting their lives back. I'd like to invite you to our next seminar, when we'll teach you how to reverse this deadly condition that affects over 50 million Americans today. To reserve your spot now, call 753-9340. This is a free seminar, but seating is limited, so call 753-9340 now.
Today for lunch, why not try The Sandwich Shop, located on Avenue Stamford, right off Rye Canyon. The Sandwich Shop offers dozens of hot or cold, affordable, premium deli sandwiches. Gourmet soups and salads are also available. Regulars indulge in the cheesy focaccia rolls, which is a customer favorite. Then top it off with owner Charlie Chung's chunky chocolate chip cookies. Breakfast and catering is also available. The Sandwich Shop, since 1983, located on Avenue Stamford, right off Rye Canyon. ValenciaSandwichShop.com to place your order.
Hi, I'm Tamara Gurney, president of Mission Valley Bank, Santa Clarita Valley's local community business bank. It's been a challenging 18 months, and as we approach the holidays, our bank is pleased to bring you some holiday music in the hopes of uplifting your spirits and spreading some joy during this season. I'd also like to invite you to visit us at our branch located at 26701 McBean Parkway, across from the town center, to meet our amazing team. And on behalf of our entire Mission Valley Bank team, we wish you a very happy and healthy holiday season.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
It's time to experience a pain relief, wellness, and anti-aging treatment unlike any other. It's time to check out Mend Cryotherapy. Relieve chronic joint and muscle pain, diminish soreness and inflammation, alleviate stress-related symptoms, boost immune system performance, and improve sleep and recovery times. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to Mend, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
We salute our veterans who sacrifice for our freedom. Every week, we share an inspirational story of a local veteran on our Hometown Heroes page at hometownstation.com. Thanks to our good friends at Eternal Valley.
I'm Richard Nunnally, General Manager of Eternal Valley Memorial Park and Mortuary. We believe taking care of each other is what community is all about. We're proud to bring you the stories of our hometown heroes.
Eternal Valley, life well celebrated.
Visit hometownstation.com, sponsored by Eternal Valley.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Gene Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with Adam Laraway of Focus Physical Therapy. And we're talking about mobility.
Absolutely.
How critical it is.
It is. One of the things I wanted to touch on too that we see quite a bit is, as you get older, what's one of the hardest things to do is get up from the floor. And
absolutely.
And I hate to think how many times I hear that. I was trying to get on the floor to do the exercises that you gave me, and I couldn't get up.
No, you're right, Adam.
So
it's a challenge.
It is, absolutely.
It absolutely
and so that's
is.
some of the stuff that we progress towards. As we kind of to leave off where we left off before the break was, with the sit to stand exercise. we're using a lot of those same muscles, the glutes and the quads. But the problem is when you get on the floor, the muscles are often either stretched out enough that that's really hard to recruit. So, if you watch people that are struggling to get up, they'll use momentum, to get themselves up. And it's because they can't engage that muscle initially. And then once they get the muscle kind of in the sweet spot, then they can get a good recruitment and then they can get up.
Well, when I get on the floor in the living room, I make sure the coffee table is right beside me.
Right.
Because I have to use that coffee table to help me get up.
Help you with that leverage.
It's unbelievable. I'm thinking, what's wrong with you, Barbara?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd flip over sideways and crack my head on the fireplace.
Absolutely.
Don't want to do that.
Don't want to do that. Yep. But that's definitely one that we see a lot of. Go ahead, Dr. Jario.
Oh, no, I was just thinking of a turtle when they flip over on their back. And, that's kind of the way you feel that, here you've been able to stand up from any position, but now you kneel down trying to get some pan from, under the sink, and you're stuck.
Yeah.
And you have to have something to push you up. It's very frustrating and disconcerting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very frustrating.
Yep. And unfortunately, as your balance and stuff changes, we're at more risk for falls. And so what do? You end up on the floor, and then you got to figure out, how the heck do I get myself up?
Or you fall against the wall and get bruises all over your arms.
Yeah. I always joke around. I tell my patients, you're under direct orders to not have a fall. They always kind of chuckle. Okay, I'll do the best I can.
Well, it's balance.
Absolutely.
With me, it's absolutely balance.
Yep.
Because I will get up from the chair and my mind is going 90 miles an hour and my body says, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And invariably, I will fall against the wall. Or when I'm turning the corner, I'll bang my arm in.
Yeah.
And I get this lovely, great big red, black splotch on my arm.
Yep. But that is something that we can practice. We have a big table that we are able to, you could just sit down on. But then we can put a chair in the middle of the table. The table's big enough that we can put the chair in the middle of the table, and we can practice getting up from the floor. So
That's right.
Essentially bringing the floor to them by having them sit on this big table, and then we can problem solve and try and figure out like, okay, well, here's where these are some of the strategies that we can try to engage those muscles and get you up. But it's often that's a true problem.
It is.
Yeah,
as you get older, your balance.
If people want to get a hold of you, Adam, how do we get a hold of you at Focus Physical Therapy?
So there's a couple different ways. Our phone number is 661-255-4205. Our website is easy to contact us as well. There's an easy request appointments or questions, which is focusptscv for SantaClaritaValley.com. And those are probably the easiest ways to get in contact with us.
And you're located?
We are located 25050 Peachland Avenue, Suite 205, right above Valencia Pharmacy.
Yes.
Great, Adam. You always bring great information to our listeners, and getting off the floor is just one of the critical things that we have to keep being able to do. So,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for being on the show again today. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.